What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to this week's installment of The Lake Show. I'm happy to welcome back my good friend Luke Papala, host of The Luke Papala Show. How we doing, brother?
Not bad, man.
No?
Not bad.
Well, how was work today?
Bro,
You're
We're-
landscaping, right?
yeah, we're always working. For the most part, like I said, we ended on time. But then somebody came up to us who was like one of the neighbors that we were of the job we're at, and they like what we did, so they wanted us to come give them a quote. So I apologize for being a little bit late today,
Oh,
but
it's all good.
That's where I work.
I had nothing else going on today.
I got you.
I just worked 5 a.m.s in a row at work.
No shit.
Yeah, it's been rough, that's for sure. Work is kicking my ass, but I have a whole week off, so
There we go.
yeah.
Kicking your ass as 5 a.m.s typically do.
Yeah, basically. I'm going to Pittsburgh tomorrow. Maybe Philly Sunday. I haven't decided yet.
Ooh.
And then I'll be in Columbus Monday and Tuesday.
There we go. I'm going to Columbus on Saturday. My
Are you?
girlfriend and I were going to Otherworld.
What's that?
It's like this museum with like a bunch of mirrors. I've seen it on people's like Instagram.
Oh, is it like where you're
Snapchat.
walking through? Is basically like a bunch of halls of mirrors? Like,
Apparently, yeah. I don't know. She wanted to go. I said, okay. So
why not? I
it's
mean,
my Saturday.
just don't run into shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a feeling that you would do that though.
Probably.
I mean, Lord knows I would, but that's neither here nor there. So, Luke, tell me how the podcast has been going. You enjoying it still?
Yeah, man. We just had an episode that we recorded on Tuesday. Xavier Bailey.
Yeah.
He's a professional powerlifter.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. Shad, one of my co-hosts, it was his first episode back in a while. He's been working nonstop.
Really?
Because he's an HVAC.
Yeah, I've watched I've watched your shows, and I haven't seen him a lot lately.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened?
Oh, he's still on. He's
Okay.
still in the intro.
That's good.
But just been working overtime, and like I said, he's an HVAC, so
Very busy.
lot of hours.
Yeah.
And so added another co-host on
I
Daniel
saw.
Sinclair, Big Clips on Instagram. Yeah, great co-host, man. We recorded Look Good Feel Good Barbershop. And,
That's good. Where's that at?
So Glenwood and Boorman.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the way Glenwood, like corner of Glenwood and Western Reserve. There's a plaza.
Oh, okay.
And so that's where Look Good Feel Good is.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice setup there.
Yeah. Andrew Hardenbrook, who I had on a couple episodes ago, he's been very kind.
To let
letting
you
us
record there?
record there. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's press for him.
Yeah, he seems to have a good setup.
Mhm.
I can't wait for the day that I have my own studio. At least, I mean, I plan on probably moving out in December, so
There we go.
finding my own place. I mean, it also depends, what job opportunities present itself, because
course.
I'm graduating this December, so
Same.
it's gonna be fun.
I'll see you there.
We get to walk together. No
Yeah,
way.
We do.
You have anything crazy you're gonna do after you graduate?
Just continue on the lawn care and landscaping business. We want to get into property management.
Okay.
So it's called ZNL Lawn Care for anybody that doesn't know. And yeah, man, I don't know. I see all these old people like 60s, 70s just cutting grass, and like their body is like worn down.
Yeah.
A lot of times, they have like a hobble to them. And my brother and I, we co-own the company, and just talking to other people like relatively like our age that own similar lawn care landscaping companies, like nobody wants to be in this till like we're that age.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be crippled by the job.
Yeah.
And so I still want to keep the lawn care and landscaping company, but this off season is going to be very big for us, like
Yeah.
finding workers, finding a shop or like a garage,
Yeah.
just upgrading our equipment.
Somewhere to
Same as-
run stuff out
Yeah,
of.
exactly. Because right now it's our house.
Do you know? Oh, I mean, there were already so many lawsuits with this company already when it comes to, I believe it was the baby formula years ago. But, I feel like us as a people in America, like we're all entitled to our opinion, whether it's right or wrong. I mean, we're not all going to be right or wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, what I value about being in this country is the fact that we can we can have our own opinion, and we can be okay with others. I feel like, I mean, at least for me, I different from a lot of people, because one thing, I can't stand hardcore Republicans or Democrats. I can't handle stand the beyond hardcore either side. I lean one way with views from the other. So obviously I lean a little bit more to the independent side. I'm not an independent, but people know where I stand. But I'm more open to like dialogue and stuff like that. Being able to open up and express yourself, because I don't know everything about everything. So
Nobody
obviously
does.
nobody does. So obviously I want to ask questions, I want to get your perspective, and then we can have an open and honest dialogue about it. I have people who I work with, good friends of mine, complete opposite side of what I believe in. But we're such good friends because we don't scrutinize each other for our opinions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's something that's getting lost in this country, especially nowadays. I mean, what say you? Do you think that's like one of the biggest issues we face today?
Yeah, and we talked about this before on the last podcast, but specifically when we're talking about this issue of like freedom of speech. I'm not necessarily mad that my episode got taken down. By the way, to finish it off, they cited it as medical misinformation, because we talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
And and then they took down another clip that I had. I was talking about the elites of Hollywood, and dude, that might have got like 12 views in 4 hours.
Yeah.
It tanked. It wasn't doing well. It wasn't going to do well.
I'm sure YouTube's algorithm maybe would have done that. Or how does that do you know how exactly that would work?
What happened was they took that down too. They said I used a slur, which wasn't true. I just talked about Sandra Bullock, who openly on Ellen was talking about injecting DNA from Filipino babies into her skin.
I saw that.
To appear
like,
younger.
I
Right.
listened to that. That's public.
It's real.
Like that's public.
They took it down. Do I think it's one of the biggest issues facing people in our time? I mean, it depends on what opinions you have. To be
Mhm.
honest with you, yeah, I think it's an issue. Yeah,
I think no matter what, you're gonna have people who disagree with you.
Mhm.
Like not everyone will follow your lead.
which isn't something that we should have. We shouldn't have a world that everybody agrees.
Yeah, I agree. Like I agree with you on that
Mhm.
one. I mean, I like difference of opinions, different ways to solve problems, different ways to communicate, all that stuff. I absolutely hate that all this stuff is just going down the toilet. Like nobody can have an opinion anymore. It's this way or the highway. Otherwise, you're scrutinized for it. And I think that's just completely and utterly wrong.
But here's the other side, I guess. Okay,
Give me the flip side of it.
so YouTube, it's not a public medium. It's a privatized it's a private company in terms of like it's a business.
Yeah.
But it's like it's public, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's like a weird thing, like it's not like a traditional organization,
It's like a little gray area when we
Yeah.
talk about this.
and the government, and I'm not a person who believes in like government overreach and like big government. I think smaller government is the better way to do things, but like just my opinion.
Yeah.
The government hasn't really came around to regulating YouTube, Twitter, social media. They don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. So it is technically still a private business, and they can make the rules.
Yeah.
Because I'm using their platform.
Yeah.
So looking at it like that, I mean,
I mean,
I
is
can't
it
be mad.
directly in their terms and conditions? So
well, here's the thing: nobody reads the terms and conditions.
true. I mean,
Anybody watching, like, you definitely didn't read the terms and conditions. Anything when you're on your iPhone, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram.
anything.
No.
And I get to a fault of us, I believe, that is on us. I mean,
It's my fault. Yeah.
that is my fault too. Like for anything I've ever posted that, I had a couple TikToks get taken down before, political ones. I was just making fun of a bunch of political
Yeah.
figures. But, that is on me. I should have read the terms and conditions,
Yeah.
but I mean, I feel like they shouldn't be so blatantly like specific for like any given topic.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like when it pertains to your topic. You got guys out here like, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, still, I love his channel. I watch it weekly. I love how he has his set beliefs, and what he believes in, and he doesn't scrutinize anybody else who provides a counterfeit argument towards him. He is eager to learn of how other people think and how other people feel about that stuff. I think, especially when it comes to big media, it's all agenda pushing, no matter what. And this is public, so everyone knows that certain channels are directed towards more conservative side, and then you got others that are directed more liberal. Whereas Joe Rogan, at least I feel, obviously he's set in his ways. I've watched damn near all of his content because I love it so much, but he honestly just loves to learn and get perspectives from different people who are and I love how he invites professionals from any given topic that he decides to talk about that this week, you know, to explain it in full detail to him so he doesn't get any misinformation or, you know, gets his facts straight in a way.
It's how do I like going back to what you said about these different companies like pushing agendas. It doesn't matter if it's like Republican or Democrat. It's kind of crazy how when you really look into like who's running things behind the scenes, it's just mind blowing how much influence they have. An example is Rupert Murdoch. He's the guy that owns Fox News. Okay, I just found out recently that he also owns the Wall Street Journal.
Correct.
That was on what episode of that was on Joe Rogan. I can't remember which episode, but like just something like that completely blew my mind. I had no clue that this man had influence in that realm. You know what I mean?
You want something else that'll blow your mind?
I'm here for it.
Look at all these big companies. I want you to look at, you know, stuff like Apple. I want you to look at stuff like the American Airlines. I want you to look at all the big time companies that you can think of: Tesla, Apple, Microsoft. Look at the biggest shareholders in those companies. BlackRock and Vanguard.
Yeah.
Is it any coincidence that, you know, any of this, BlackRock and Vanguard are at the center of all of these, you know,
Here we
big
are.
things? Here we are.
Okay, so now that you've just dropped the ball.
And here's
there.
the problem. Like, you know, I'm for this kind of talk. I love this kind of talk because it's open and honest, and it's not a matter of public opinion. This is a matter of fact.
They won't remove this one. It's not violating the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I've read it, but now I've read them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all know what they want. They just want as much money and power and control as possible. You've seen the argument where they talk about you'll own nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
We all know that. You could look it up if you haven't been hip to this information. I've also seen that they're buying vacant like neighborhoods and just buying them.
Buying them. They're in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Which I found very odd. I mean, I can't now. Maybe I'm just that ignorant and for not knowing, really thinking too hard about it.
I
Like,
don't think you're ignorant to that.
it's just like, why? Like,
Well, power and control.
yeah, I get that, but you know, then again, like the timing is weird for me at least. You know, sometimes I just can't wrap my head around it. I love this though. Me and my coworker always talk about this stuff when we work together. It's kind of funny. I want to ask you this. If you could know everything, would you want to?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Neither would I.
Why would you want that burden? Right?
I wouldn't want that burden either. I think it's just okay. If you think about the amount of conspiracy theories there are in the world, there's probably thousands at this point.
Oh, there's millions. There has to be.
Probably. So I'm with you. I don't know if I'd want to. I would just be like probably in too much shock to even do anything.
Well, like, as somebody who's an idiot, I am an idiot, but I find myself going over these conspiracies on my own podcast and then my own free time, and then before you know it, you know, you're down the YouTube rabbit hole at 4 a.m. and you have to get up at work at like 6. And so I don't know, I teeter on a little bit craziness, you know, from time to time when it comes to that. But like just reading these conspiracies, watching these like videos, it already blows my mind to an extent. And it, you know, like I don't want something like the adrenochrome conspiracy to be real, because like a lot of children would have had to been harmed if that's true. Nobody wants that. I don't want to know that.
Yeah.
I
agree with you
showing
on that
up in
one.
my feed, and that's the issue.
I think like my feed on TikTok, it gets filled with a bunch of different like hundreds of thousands of podcasters and just talking about different, you know, theories that are, and like they make things like, it's like, do I believe that? Can I believe that? I don't know. This world is filled with so much misinformation. It's like you don't know what to trust anymore.
Yeah.
It's it hurts my head even thinking about it. If you had to pick, like, you know, not like a deep and dark conspiracy, but like one that, like, you know, you're very interested in.
The adrenochrome conspiracy.
That one, it'll still be that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's the pyramids still. And I know Joe Rogan has talked about it so many times on his show, but that's one thing that does keep me up. Like if you look at the coordinates of the stars that line up with the Great Pyramid of Giza, it matches the exact number of the speed of light. If you take an aerial picture from, you know, if you take an aerial picture of the pyramids, it looks like a modern day computer chip. It's like, how?
I've been there, brother.
You've been there?
I've been there. There's they've got pyramids in Antarctica too.
I did read that, and I
Yeah.
saw it's funny that it was blurred out on TikTok, like the picture of it.
I mean, of course.
It's going to be, but I find that crazy too.
Okay, I have one. This has kind of gained traction in recent months, and I can assure everybody listening that this is false. But have you heard the conspiracy about Big Mike?
Can't say I have.
Well, Michelle Obama. There are thoughts, conspiracies, knowings, whatever you want to call it, about Michelle Obama being a man that transitioned into a woman.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of it on my feed, but
Well,
I've known that was a theory for a long time.
It's false. It completely false. But there was a picture that resurfaced a couple weeks ago, I feel like.
I think I know what picture you're
Yeah,
talking
she's
about.
wearing the white dress, and her back. Listen, her back is looking like an absolute upside down Dorito chip, bigger than mine. Like it rivals Xavier Bailey's back. Like
I just want a back like that.
this back is tremendous, roided up. Just a fantastic example of what you can do when you go to the gym as a man. But like it doesn't make sense. And then there's also pictures, and maybe they've been photoshopped. They've probably been photoshopped.
A lot of them probably are.
She's wearing a dress, and there's a bulge. Okay, now granted, did she have her kids out of like her own power? No, I've done the research. She had her kids through in vitro. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe that's where the conspiracy's kind of aligning with fact. I don't know, but I looked at like there's that you could find her birth records. You could find everything.
That's all public.
Yeah,
All
so
of it.
All these people pushing the narrative of like Big Mike, because the conspiracy is that her name is like Michael, or the guy's name is like Michael whatever. And then there's also conspiracy about Obama having affairs with a man, whatever, pre-election.
There's a
the
lot of
first
stuff I
time.
don't believe in.
Yeah, but these are just people talking,
Yeah.
whatever. It's interesting though, it really is. But yeah, all been debunked. It's mostly pushed on Twitter, and that is the reality when you have a social media platform that isn't really regulated. You know, you get misinformation, but you just have to corner it with better information.
Yeah.
That's where these ideas win and lose.
Yeah, I agree with you. And like when I bring this stuff up, like I'm no expert in any of this.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Like I'm the same way. Like I'm a dumbass. I'm just, I just talk about what other people talk about. And, I just think it's very interesting. I mean, Joe Rogan does the same thing on a weekly basis. And
Oh, more than weeks. It's like days,
Yeah.
daily basis.
literally, I mean, I love his content and I just love what he talks about. Like it's anything and everything. He'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But he's open and honest about everything, and he just asks questions. That's it.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know everything, and nobody does, but he just asks questions, and I just, that's the kind of platform that's the kind of channel that I like a lot.
Definitely.
It's just honesty.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Preparing for this podcast, kind of like thinking like what we're going to talk about. You're a big proponent of hard work. I listen to your show all the time, every week. You really don't have a tolerance for like people that they bullshit a lot, and they what's a good word for it? Like asking for handouts. How do you feel about living wage?
Living wage. Okay, so I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all, because if that's what people need to survive, that's what they need. I've seen people come into my place of work and buy obscene shit with money that's not meant for that.
Food
So,
stamps?
yep.
Yeah.
I see people buy shit that that's not what that money's for. I don't like seeing that, but at the same time, I'm not going to scrutinize people. Like, it's like my friend Gabby said before on this show. You know, you don't know what this person's been through in their life. Shitty situations might end up, you know, having you do shitty things or whatever, think a certain way. So I'm not going to be the one to scrutinize anyone for, you know, what they have. You know, what they have is what they have, and you know they have to make ends meet however they can. And you know, I think that's unfortunate, but you know, if it's used for the for the right thing,
Yeah.
for the better cause of it all, you know, I'm for it. Like anything that'll help people get ahead, and maybe if you're struggling, you know, anything that'll help you get ahead to maybe better yourself or your future, for your kids' future, like I'm all for that.
Yeah.
So, because everyone deserves an equal chance to like make something great of their life. I
Of
mean,
course.
that's why I love, you know, obviously my channel. I mean, you're more comedic side of YouTube, but you know, and I love that stuff because we all need a good laugh, and I encourage everyone who watches mine to check out Luke Papala because you'll be very entertained. That's for sure.
Or mad,
Or mad, you know.
whatever works.
Like if someone's opinion's gonna offend you, like it's 2023, grow up. Opinions are opinions. That's the reason we have them.
It happens.
Yeah, but this is why I love doing what I do, because while I can talk about, you know, everything else, like, you know, we talked a little bit about conspiracy,
Of course.
but I also lean in heavy to what I do with the mental health aspect, inspirational, motivational content, because I don't like seeing people fail. I don't like seeing people end up in a position where I ended up 5 years ago. And that's a mental black hole. You know, all your emotions, everything going on in your life just consumes you whole. So when I'm open and honest about everything, you know, I fixed myself. You know, it took 5 years.
Which many people can't do.
No,
You got to give yourself credit for that.
I do. I don't even like giving myself credit, but you know, I will beat my chest to it and say, yeah, I did it. Like,
You don't even have to do it publicly. Just
Yeah.
in the mirror every day.
yeah,
It helps.
like I can wake up in the morning and I'm happy. Like,
That's great.
obviously, maybe I'm not where I want to be yet in life.
Who is, though?
Who is in our generation? Like, not many.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can say is, if you can wake up in the morning and you're content with yourself, and you know you're proud of maybe not who you are at the moment, but who you're becoming.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for you in this day and age.
I agree, especially in this this climate of social media
Mm-hmm.
where you know we're all comparing ourselves to other people.
I watched our show again, like the episode when
Mm-hmm.
you had me on. I watched that again. It was such a great time.
We had a great time. What was that? We were there for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was great. I love, and I know you don't personally do like a lot of like long, like couple hours podcasts.
I upped it to 45 to an hour. That's
I noticed. I noticed. Yeah.
I originally, real quick, I didn't mean to
ahead,
cut
go
you
ahead.
off, but when I originally started, I was going to be like, maybe 18 to 25 minutes, you know, something that the college students can just, you know, hop in their car, put on a podcast. Oh, you're at campus now, you know, something small and quick to the point. Now it's, you know, I'm full-fledged interviewing because, you know, I felt like I'm leaning more into like, you know, let's get a real dialogue going about whatever is bothering you in life, struggles, anything. Get it off your chest. And, you know, I've told people this before. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't tell you all the answers, but I can point you in the right direction of what you should or shouldn't do. So
Yeah.
that's what I really love. But go ahead.
Well, I don't really think I was gonna say. I was just gonna like add to your point. But yeah, man, like doing podcasts, I've definitely noticed like I've created this network of people, whether or not I knew it was gonna happen or not. That like I don't know. I never saw myself doing this at all. Like this is something that kind of just happened spontaneously. And all these people I've met from all different walks of life, shocking. I've surprised myself, and I can go to these people if I you know have any problems, I guess. And you know they all have their like specific like expertises and things.
Yeah.
Right? Like my friend Ivan, I had him on. He goes by the name of Big Hot. He's a DJ. He's an artist. He's a content creator, right?
Yeah.
And if I ever have questions about some like content creation, for example, I mean he has like 1.3K on Instagram, not Instagram, on YouTube. He's got like 2 something on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
but like his video editing is really good.
Is it?
He's been in content creation for a while, but like if I ever have a question about anything, like I always go to that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to have people like that because, like we said earlier, we don't know all the answers, but it's something interesting to talk about. I mean, and you've seen my content. I mean, I've been going nonstop, man. I've been recording episode after episode, especially, school picking back up. I'm not going to have as much time as I would love to sit down each week and record. So this will be my third time recording this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're grinding.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I'm loving it. I love just sitting down, having the conversation, and I've had people on from different walks of life. In the episode that'll be coming out next week, I had my little cousin on who he makes beats. Like,
You're having him on.
I had him on. Yeah, he talked about like making beats and stuff.
wow.
It's kind of funny because he might end up. I'm crossing my fingers for him because I really hope his beats might end up on the desk of Metro Boomin's manager, like promoter and stuff. I'm hoping and praying that it goes well. So,
I mean,
they're grinding.
we all know what happens if Young Metro doesn't trust you. I guess he trusts him.
That's awesome. It took me a second to really think of what you were saying.
It was corny as shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Well, I did because you said you were an avid listener. What is there an episode that I've done so far that has stuck out to you? I mean, I know I've had you on before and we talked for a while, but what's something that maybe maybe it could have been my shorts on IG or anything like that caught your eye?
I liked the episode with the two girls that you had on, because I
Was
forget
it
their
Criminal
name.
Justice?
Yes, yes.
Courtney and Gabby. Yeah,
Yeah, their
my good
names are-
friends. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Their names are escaping me. But man, I loved like you guys all. It seemed like you had different opinions without really sharing your stances on certain subjects. But like, man, you were all together. You all having a conversation. That's what we're supposed to be in America.
And I'm glad you pointed that out. That's exactly what I try to preach to people is like, okay, you can have your own opinions and stuff and, be so stone cold set on them. Be open to listening. That's it. I mean, the two girls I had on, I am complete. It's kind of funny. I'm completely aligned, like in what I believe in with one, almost damn near the polar opposite with the other, but we're all great friends because we don't scrutinize each other over it. Yeah. Now, we've had bickering matches before.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? But that's what everything, in my opinion, should be. An open and honest conversation, open for debate, not scrutinization. Yeah. Anything like that. I think it's total bullshit that I see people like harass other people for a simple opinion on something. I just think that's ridiculous. Like, you don't know that person at all. Like,
no.
What do you care? Does their opinion really affect you that much that you're gonna wake up and hate the world or have a bad day?
A lot of people, that's the case.
I don't get why. Like, I wake up in a good mood now. Like, and there's nothing anyone on this planet can say or do to me that will affect me.
That's good, man.
I'm still gonna wake up, go to work, be in my good mood. Now I'll have off days. I mean, I've been open and honest about, obviously, stuff comes back to me and, hits me a little bit, but, it doesn't keep me down for long. If it punches me, I'm going to punch it right back and knock it out. So
that's a good thing to have.
I'd say I'm very good at this just because, it's actually kind of funny. When I went to church 2 weeks ago, my pastor, I was having a rough week at that point. I had a one-on-one with him. It was great. That's why I love going to that church. And it was funny because, he asked me a little bit about my life and what I do. And, I mentioned I have a podcast. And, he asked me, like, I forget exactly what he asked me, but he was like, wow, you're really, like, after I just went off on, like, talk 2-3 straight minutes of, what I'm all about and what I believe in a way of how I handle things. He was like, wow, you're teaching me something. And I'm like, that did something to me a little bit, like hearing it from my pastor, like the man of faith. It's like, I'm no perfect Christian. I try to strive for it.
Nobody is.
Nobody is. But it's kind of funny, like, someone who has found comfort in religion is, heard me out and, was impressed and, thought, actually had a deep thought about what I had to say, I enjoy that too. It's like, that hit me a little different.
Yeah.
And people have said like your takes on things are very interesting, and I'm like, I don't know what to say about it. Like my channel's, it's still small. It's not to your status yet.
My channel's still small too, man.
Well, yeah, but it's bigger compared to mine. But it's just like, it's just so cool to me, having people that actually like enjoy, me talking about anything like this. I enjoy it a lot.
I have a question now since you brought up religion. Do you think that there's like a growing hunger, for lack of a better term, for like religion when it comes to like our generation?
Okay, so in a way, I would say yes. Like and here, this is what I'll say about this. So, and I've been, like I said, religion has been a little bit of a game changer. It's been quite a few big game changer for me and how I've, turned my life around in a way. What I say is for those who are struggling, no matter what, if you feel like maybe you're on the cusp of, getting over the hump of, dealing with everything, and, maybe you are religious, but maybe, you aren't leaning into it so much. I highly encourage people to lean into it a little bit more because it'll be one of the best decisions you've made. Me leaning into my faith now, like, I consider myself more of a man of faith every day. I try to grow my relationship with God, realizing that, for many years I thought I was alone. I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that's what a lot of people face. They feel alone all the time.
And social media doesn't make you feel better. By
No,
any
it doesn't. If anyone says that it makes you feel better, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm of the believer that we need a break from it, but I'm in a sense a hypocrite when I say that because this is what I do for, I love doing this, and I hope this ends up becoming like a career path for me.
You're guaranteed for that if you just stay consistent.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do, and just promote. And anybody that says, oh, and they won't say it to your face, but oh, why is he doing that? Blah blah blah. You want to blow up. You're going 110% in.
Mm-hmm.
Why should it matter what other people think? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're guaranteed. Like I'm guaranteed success. Anybody who does anything for an extended period of time, whether it's a life goal or something they just want to succeed in, whatever. Yeah. I mean, besides me, I wanted to be in the NBA when I was in 7th grade.
I wanted to be in the NFL, so
I'm 6 foot, I'm white, so that's really not in the cards. That's not in the cards for me. But besides that, anybody can do anything and be successful as long as you just stay consistent and you work hard. Mm-hmm. That's literally it.
Yeah, and I kind of noticed that just from, I started this at the midpoint or late January. Mm-hmm. It's already August, and just seeing like what I went from like doing just one simple this is like my transition literally in my I didn't have a computer desk in my bedroom because I moved rooms, so I just borrowed my brother's in his room. It was me, my podcasting equipment, like one microphone, one small PodTrack P4, and it's just me staring at a wall and my laptop using a script. And now I have, full-fledged, now I'm, multiple microphones, new equipment. Yeah. I'm on YouTube now, Spotify. Yeah, literally. It's, it's weird. Like, it feels weird that, if you told me a year ago that I'd be doing this, I would have told you you're full of it. But, your calling comes to you eventually.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that, I feel like I'm okay at this, and
you're better than okay, my friend.
I appreciate that.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
I appreciate that.
And don't worry about being a quote unquote small channel. You just keep posting the shorts, posting the reels. You'll be fine.
I really love the ones I post on Instagram. Those get me the most views.
I'm a fan as well.
Of everything. I didn't really. It's kind of weird. Like when I say those things, and obviously Opus AI, that's been a lifesaver. Thank you, by the way, for mentioning that.
Changed my life.
Well, changed my life. If you are a content creator and you need like shorts for YouTube or Instagram, go to Opus AI. That shit will hook you up, man. I was in a wait queue for 36 hours though before.
It makes sense. Yeah. They'll probably knowing Opus Clips. They'll probably use this as like an advertisement.
I hope
That's
so.
just how that works. Powered by the same OpenAI that powers ChatGPT.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you definitely want to check that out. Because I'm not one that like wants to hide the wealth. You know what I mean? I'm not a gatekeeper
Mm-hmm.
because I've always like when I was starting my podcast, there wasn't really anybody to like ask for help for.
Like to mentor you in a way.
Yeah, not even like mentor, just like if I had one question, wasn't really anybody that helped. There were producers that came on and off, and I would pay them a certain amount of money to like produce it because I didn't have cameras, I didn't have mics, I didn't really have any of that. It was kind of just me, uh, for lack of a better term, just like throwing shit and hoping it stuck.
Yeah.
But over time you learn things. But yeah, Opus AI, you literally clip, and you could really do this for anything, which is kind of scary because like I could go on YouTube and look up like a full send episode, right?
Yeah.
And I copy the link into Opus AI, and it's gonna give me like 30 some clips
Yeah.
generated by AI, and I could literally create a full send podcast clips page on YouTube,
Yeah.
which is kind of scary.
It is
And
scary.
there's got to be some laws, but then again, freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So, but it's a tremendous tool to use if you're starting a podcast, starting a vlog, or whatever. Go to Opus Clips. You just
Think David Dobrik uses it?
I mean, I don't know. He might, but go to Opus Clips on whatever Safari you look up Opus Clips. You're gonna get like a 2 hour or hour and a half free trial. Just keep milking the free trials. Creating more Gmail accounts is what I'm doing. I'm never paying for that. But you got to do that, and yeah, you just stay consistent, post, and you'll blow up.
Eventually, I'm hoping for it.
You will.
I've had people reach out to me; they want to be on, and it's kind of crazy. There's some I'm hesitant about because of, I wasn't hesitant about what we discussed earlier because I've talked about it before.
Hmm.
Eventually, I know people who want to absolutely go like debate, like head on head debate,
Well,
and
that's something that I've been toying with. Not me debating somebody,
somebody else debating someone else,
and
like
I would
you
be
be
the
a moderator.
moderator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
I know there's people who would want to debate me.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm willing to do that just because, I don't try to be cynical. I hate being that way
yeah.
because, no matter what opinion you have, I'll respect it. But
Yeah.
I'd rather be a moderator in a sense. But, I don't know why. For me, it's just I'm hesitant to do it.
I just don't have the equipment or the following.
Yeah. I'm not like, I know politics, but not nearly as much as other people do.
I love politics. I've been watching politics and like invested in it since like fourth grade, maybe.
Really?
I remember watching the debate way early in fourth grade. I remember watching the debate between Obama the first time and John McCain. So what was that?
Oh, wow.
2008? Yeah, 2008.
Bro, I can't remember shit that far back. Damn.
Well, I would watch that with my parents. All the
Really?
debates, yes. I don't know why. It just interested me. And listen, I think Obama was a good president. I think that he was flawed in some respects, just like everybody. But it was funny because who was it? The moderator of that debate might have been like Chris Wallace or somebody, right?
Mhm.
He would ask a question, and then Obama would like be a little politician, and he would answer it with another question,
Yeah.
and it was just funny.
Answering a question with a question. like,
Classic politicians.
literally.
And
That's
then-
so funny.
Yeah, your parents are yelling at the TV. It doesn't really matter what side they're on, and nobody else can hear them. And then you grow up, and sure as shit, you're shouting at the TV too.
That's how literally that's me in politics, that's me in sports. It's like, I'm not I said this before, my parents were the parents who screamed and yelled at the refs all the time, like obviously and screaming at the TV when, either the Steelers were sucking it up or the Hurricanes were. I said, I'm not going to be like that. Now I contemplate chucking the remote at the TV every Sunday. And, NFL season's coming up, so
But you're a Steelers fan, so like,
Yeah.
you usually probably don't do that.
Steeler fans, we know the pain.
You don't have any pain.
We
You don't know pain.
Who are you?
Who do you think?
You're a Browns
The
fan.
team by the lake. The mistake by the lake. The one with the pedophile quarterback. Or not technically a pedophile, but he's certainly a creep. I'll root for him though. If he wins games, I'll root for him.
If he wins a Super Bowl, everyone in Cleveland will be throwing a parade.
We'll see.
Well, they threw a parade when they went 0-16.
Yeah, I remember.
I couldn't believe that shit.
I can. What a fan base. But you know what?
What do you think of Steeler fans? Go ahead. Give me your honest opinion.
I don't know.
What do you see me as a Yinzer?
I just don't see what? What's a Yinzer?
Keep going.
I don't know. Let's transition back to politics. Holy shit, who said that before? Wow.
Oh, it's okay.
But no, talking about the Browns Steelers debate, right? Northeast Ohio, Pennsylvania, whatever. It's something that happens. The Browns and Steelers like rivals. But like when we were kids, we'd be in school and we'd have Browns fans and Steelers fans
Yeah, that's basically how it was.
arguing. It basically
Lunch table arguments.
Yeah, it basically went something to the degree of oh, you know, we beat you guys. You guys haven't won. However, you've never won a Super Bowl. Oh no, but we have however many championships before Super Bowls have come around. And recently the Browns have been slightly more competitive than they have been in the past.
Oh, 100%.
Which is-
There are plenty of players on the Browns I would love to have on Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah. But it would always end in like the same like nasty thing. Like at first maybe it was like a debate, but then it ended in like people hurling insults, and in transitioning to now, I see that in the Republican versus Democrat debate.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of going back to politics,
I see that too. You
it's
know,
the same thing.
people throw jabs all the time.
It's just teams.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like I'm not on a team anymore.
Same here.
There's not a party that represents me.
I basically feel the same way. I mean, you know, like I said earlier, I lean one way, but I have views from the other. You know, I'm not one. You know, I'm not full fledged either side.
Yeah,
so.
like if I could have invaded the Capitol, I would have.
Dude. Oh, I have such bad arthritis in my neck.
Oh, but yeah,
Years of playing football. Sucks.
I never got that.
What?
The arthritis. I just got this weird thing in my wrist where like
I heard it crack when you did move it at one time.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I cracked my knees. I cracked my neck, my back. My neck cracks like it's ridiculous. It's like opening a pop can.
I can never do that.
Really?
A little bit scary to me. My brother does that. I don't get it.
Does it scare you trying to do that?
Yes. I won't do it personally.
I can't. I'm not allowed to do it next to my grandmother anymore.
Really?
Oh, she flips out on me. Like she absolutely hates it. You're gonna break your neck. I'm like, Grandma, I need to crack my neck. I can't help it. She absolutely hates the noise. Like I did it in the other room one time while she was in the kitchen.
Oh jeez.
And she heard me and she was like, "Stop doing that shit." I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
I'm gonna be stiff as a board.
I'm a
just
big back cracker.
Oh, me too.
The lower back.
Oh, no better feeling than the lower back crack.
When we used to be in high school, and I don't know, you went to Lovo, right?
Yeah.
And so, did you have nice things? Because like your school is new.
Define nice things. Like, what do you mean by that?
I don't know. I went to Ursuline, and things certainly weren't crappy at all. But the chairs, they had like the desks. Some of them had like the desks like attached.
Yeah, that was
so
us.
You could.
Oh,
was-
the perfect back cracks. Oh yeah,
one
for
of
sure.
those, yeah.
We had that. I hold my tongue a lot on Lowville.
I mean,
I've had my issues with it, but I feel like everyone has had issues with their high school.
yeah.
Some more than others, but you know, for me, I keep my mouth shut.
Yeah,
lot.
my brother, he's 16 years old, and he's like, I guess he's like dating a girl from Loveville, and I felt kind of bad, because when I found out, and this is nothing against Loveville, but I was like, oh, you know, does she have all her teeth? Does she have a roof?
Oh my god, bro, we're not that bad.
She does. She does. She has teeth, and
That's good.
they're working on the roof, but. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god. Here's the thing. When you just said working on the roof, I thought that was a jab at me since my house burned
No that's right. Oh, damn. I just opened up a whirlwind of trauma.
No, I put that to bed a while ago.
Shit. I remember you talking
Actually, yeah.
about that.
How dare you? How
Damn.
dare you?
Damn. What a fire take. But yeah, she's cool. I mean, I haven't really talked to her because she is 16, and they are like relatively new in their relationship. But she seems cool.
Yeah.
Definitely has all her teeth. I think.
Oh my god! Like you just mentioning like teeth. It's just funny how you ever watch Charles Barkley on Inside the NBA?
All the time.
He said the toothbrush was invented in Tuscaloosa. All the women want tooth.
Yeah, he's a clown. He's a comedian.
He is.
He's a comedian.
The shit he gets away with saying.
Yeah, the day he leaves inside the NBA, is the day that showed
Tanks.
immediately in the tank.
Tanks. I mean, Shaq is funny too in his
Shaq's
own right,
great.
but you know him and Chuck hold that together.
And poor Ernie. I mean, I feel like Kenny is like they don't need him on the show.
No, they don't.
He's certainly a good co-host, if you would call him that.
He is.
And poor Ernie, you need him on the show. You need somebody to like
Steer the ship.
Of course, the small white guy. I mean, he's a perfect role. I'd make fun of Ernie. You know what I mean?
Ernie's funny, but
Yeah.
they all make fun of Chuck.
I mean, what's not to make fun of?
I mean, it's funny. Did you ever hear the best story ever was Chuck's sauna story?
I haven't heard it. No.
Oh god, look it up on YouTube. It's funny as shit. You'll laugh your ass off. This Charles Barkley was in the steam room with some other guy, and he gave him his bracelet. I don't know. He just got a new bracelet from this random man. He said on live TV, whatever your name is, thanks for the bracelet. Shaq started dying. And Kenny said, you shared a sauna room with this man and you don't even remember his name? He gave you his bracelet and you still don't remember his name? Dude, look it up. Look up Charles Barkley's sauna story. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. And I watched it live on TV when it came out. I'm like, oh my God. Like I was pissing my pants in front of the TV.
Huh. I haven't seen it, but he's certainly a funny guy for sure. Why do you think he's able to get away with what he's able to get away with on like a television network, mind you, that's controlled by these people in power?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's oh man, I don't know, honestly. I think he doesn't care. That's the problem. Like he doesn't care. He'll pay all the fines.
Why is he not fired yet?
Ratings. He gravitates people towards the television.
It's true.
I mean, are you gonna get like you said earlier? If they got rid of him, ratings would tank.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the only thing that goes along with it. Not that he's just an NBA analyst. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact people tune in to hear him bitch about NBA and NBA players and just be a comedian in general on that show. But I think it's just because they'll lose a good chunk of money.
Yeah, like okay, I watched The View.
Explain. Go ahead.
No, I don't watch The View. But when they took I don't get how that show is still on. Maybe it is because there are still a lot of women home in the middle of the day with nothing to watch. Because I know the men are watching it. I know that for a fact. But when they removed my woman, Whoopi Goldberg, I got a little bit upset because she didn't say really anything too out of pocket. She just shared an opinion on, a group that we don't talk about.
No matter what, if you're going to have an opinion, if you're going to accept one opinion, you got to accept the other. That's just how it should be, and that's how it should go.
Like we talked about before, man, good information is going to combat bad information, and ultimately the good information is going to win if it's the truth.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a dangerous world we're entering, as far as how misinformation goes.
Okay, so when do you think we go full totalitarian? And we have to use sign language as the only way of communication.
Well, did you hear about the central bank digital currency?
Yeah, my grandpa's been talking to me about this shit since April.
Yeah, it would have to be within the next 10 years. So
when do we have a social credit score? Because it's all coming.
That's coming real soon. I'd say within the next 2 years.
China has it.
I know.
It's scary.
I did a whole like I did a whole ass paper on it, and it was one of the best presentations I ever gave here at YSU.
I bet.
It was a good one. I got an A+ on that shit.
Of course. And so what did you find that like blew your mind when it came to social credit scores?
Every single thing. It's not even just that. Everything in China is digitized. Like like there's no cash in China. There's no debit cards. It's all linked on their phone.
Yeah.
And this one barcode. I forget exactly what it is, but it's one single barcode that it has all your information, like basically a social ID, and it tracks everything. Like,
God forbid you say something that the government doesn't like.
oh, they were open and honest about that. Like, I found articles like they know, like when you're, speaking out against that.
Yeah, and you might not be able to travel to
Yeah.
certain places.
It's a scary world we live in.
It's a different world. It's like a dystopian future that you would see in like a movie or something like that. Or
I swear everything is happening.
Black
like,
Mirror.
It feels like a movie.
It's Black Mirror. Have you seen Black Mirror?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my friend, you gotta watch Black Mirror
it a
on
movie?
Netflix. Mm-mm.
Show.
It's an anthology show. Only every single show like is different. I think that's what an anthology show is. That might be referring to like the seasons. Anyway, yeah, dystopian futures, all of it. Like there's one episode where it's about this a future in which people had chips in their brain
Mm-hmm.
and they could like remember different memories and stuff like that. And there
Like
was
from different people or past
them.
memories.
Just them, like their day, for example. You could run through, like, replay all the memories
Oh,
you had
wow.
in your brain from like a certain amount of time. There was this one where I believe in the episode, this lady caught, or the husband caught the wife cheating. One of the spouses caught the other cheating because of like that. You could just like project it. It was like 3 years ago when I saw
Yeah.
this. But then they all sat down and they all had their chip and whatever. And there was one lady who didn't have the chip. And it kind of reminded me, excuse me, of like the COVID vaccines and stuff, the people that didn't get vaccinated, how others that got vaccinated for the purpose of like, oh, we have to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
How they would treat the unvaccinated. Like, oh, why don't you have this? Like, start
Yeah.
like aggressively questioning them.
Aggressively scrutinizing too, like no matter
Yeah.
what. And that's another thing like that I hated. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't, don't.
Yeah,
Like
although
that's simple as that.
in the show, they weren't accusing her of like endangering others' safety. But still, it felt like it was relatively the same energy. Stuff like that. There's another one where like you got points. You got money if you were like running on a treadmill.
Yeah.
There's stuff like that, like little dystopian future stuff. Yeah, I really can't explain it.
That's cool though. I might have to check that out.
Have to. Mind blowing stuff.
I'll make it a point to check that out for sure.
Every episode is different.
Yeah.
You will love it. Or it'll make you think a little bit and you might get a little paranoid.
Dude, I'm already paranoid with some of the shit I think. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But it's the world we live in.
It's not changing.
Yeah, I know. Luke Papala, I'm really glad that you took the time out of your day to come
Dude, of
and
course.
be on the show.
I would have been here earlier. I apologize.
It's work. We all have it. We all have to work. I mean, it's okay. I won't take it to heart. As we wrap up, is there anything else you would want to say to my audience?
I just want to say this episode was heated
It was.
and we had a hell of a time. And I'm trying to think of a fire pun, but I just can't at this time. So I'm just going to thank you once again for having me on your show. Is this the first time you've had somebody on for like multiple episodes?
You're my first repeat.
Holy shit.
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
I've popped your cherry
Yeah.
in that regard. That's crazy. I just want to thank you for having me back on.
Oh, for sure.
We've had a tremendous conversation here today.
Absolutely.
And you'll be back on my podcast as well. We have a big schedule of guests, but you'll be on.
All right. I look forward to it. You just let me know and I'll be there.
I will. Don't you worry.
And one last thing before we go. I'll just take my friend's fire joke. Dom didn't start the fire. I did not.
That's all that matters.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the house is okay now, right?
No,
Shit.
we moved.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have a new house.
Yeah. New house. Family's all good.
There you go.
That's the best part.
Nobody was hurt.
Exactly.
Maybe your feelings.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Feelings.
Whatever.
And that's going to wrap it up this week on The Lake Show, everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave some comments down below. I'm your host, Dominic Lako. God bless.